Okay, tonight's video, what are we talking about? Back with Dr. Joe on Chris Williamson's podcast, YouTube channel. Tonight, I believe we're talking about belief in behavior and sneaky way stress makes its way back into our lives. Let's go, boys.
Throughout this conversation, I've had this idea in my mind of sort of the shallowness of a lot of practice that doesn't necessarily incorporate this. And I've spent a lot of time with some very, very smart people that are very, very effective at getting behavior to change. But I often wonder about how much deeper than the behavior it goes into belief about what they're worthy of. Many people are really great at doing things, even if they don't think that they're worthy of doing them. Right? That's kind of like the intrinsic side of imposter syndrome when you succeed. I didn't believe that I could do the thing. I went out and did the thing, and yet I still don't feel like I was worthy of the success that doing the thing gave me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it kind of shows to me this. I think shallowness is the closest word that I can think of.
So, just doubting yourself, even though you're a champion, and there's evidence in your life that you are an actual champion, like you set your sights on a goal and then you achieved it, and then when you get to the goal, you don't feel like you're worthy of it or you deserve it. I don't have that problem. It's amazing that people do have, that puzzle. I don't want to call it a problem. Problem always denotes that there's something negative about it. But if you look at these challenges as a puzzle, then it causes you to think about, if it's a puzzle, how do I solve it? How can I just believe that I am a champion?
Let's see how I can say this. I thought people came to our work to heal, to create abundance, to get a new job, to have a new relationship, to have a mystical experience. I really thought that. Those were the reasons that they thought they came. But really, what they're really coming for is wholeness. Because when you're whole, it's really hard to want. And you could only want when you're in lack or you're in separation. And we actually create from lack. We actually create from separation. If you see something that you don't have, that someone else has, and you're aware now that it exists, and you say, I want that, the lack of not having it actually inspires you to create and get it, right? So we create from lack and separation. And so if people are spending their whole time in their life working really hard to get the things that they want, behaving differently so they can get that thing, and then when the novelty wears off from that thing, here comes that feeling again of lack and separation. And we reach a point in our life, for many people, where nothing's making that feeling go away. And that's a really important moment in life where you start realizing, oh my God, I got to wake up, because there's never going to be something that does it out there.
Well, that's one of the reasons I think that you get sort of gold medalist syndrome, or whatever the equivalent is, that you can always justify to yourself that, that's it. It wasn't the $2 million house. It's the $4 million. That's the one. This was just the reason that I still feel empty after having achieved that. It wasn't the corner office. It's the corner office with the penthouse windows at the top. It wasn't the wife, and there is always a mañana.
Yeah, I think people confuse pleasure and happiness on one level. And God, I have sat with billionaires, and more than one, and they have leaned over and said to me, we are miserable. We are in agony. We can't even enjoy a sunset, because money has nothing, or success has nothing to do with genuine, authentic joy. And mastering yourself, overcoming yourself in so many ways creates so much wholeness and order in the nervous system. So much wholeness that you don't want anything anymore. And that's a great moment when you feel so whole that you no longer want. That's the moment you're free.
So, on YouTube, you hear a lot about that, where people, they become ultra successful to like the looker-on or the observer or the spectator. You see someone get the gold medal, or you see like a person exceed in business. But sometimes when you listen to the actual champion, they're feeling loneliness or miserable. I remember when Israel Adesanya first became the light heavyweight UFC champ for his first time. And he said that was the most depressing day of his life. He'd never been as depressed as, felt that depressed as he did that day. And I've listened to a lot of people, what I've come to understand is whatever success means to you, if it doesn't involve helping others, when you reach that championship belt, when you're the world champ, or you're the gold medalist, or you're the successful millionaire or billionaire, because your dream didn't have any people in it, or loving others and helping others, trying to raise the vibration of the community, that's one reason you'll feel empty at the top. Because it's a lonely trail when you're making your way up to the top, and when you get there, no one else is there except for you. That's how you feel, because you isolated yourself mentally, emotionally, socially from the rest of the world, and that's what it takes. But you can do that because you have other people who are in the exact same situation when they became champ. Like Khabib Nurmagomedov. He wasn't depressed at all because his goal was to do it for his country. He was fighting for his family, especially his dad. And then when he finally got the bout, and then his dad had passed away 3 months before, he felt empty because his dad wasn't there. He was doing it for his dad and for his people. So in the modern world, because of the society that we live in, it's based on money and status. And if you get so fixated in that definition of success, like you become financially wealthy or in a good position, and you don't focus on real success, which in the human species is attachment to community, then of course you're going to feel lonely. So I like to look at it like this. So financial success is a byproduct. It's an indicator of how good you are with money, with people, in society. You can't make money without another human as a user in some sort, or a customer in some aspect on the other side of your money idea. So you just got to do it for the people. That's the solution. Make yourself the best version of yourself to help others. And then the indicator of wealth, one indicator will be there on your day of success, your many days of success. But the key indicator is the people around you on that day. Not so much how much they love you, but how much you love them.
I think that's the moment you really feel free. So it is deeper than that.
Yeah.
I think there's an intrinsic, innate quality for us to remember something deeper and more profound in us. And I think when people have that full-on sensory internal experience, that moment of connection, that overcoming, that arousal, that whatever that is, that connection or union, I think when they feel these elevated states, they stop looking outside of it. Outside of themselves for it, they start looking within. And I think that's a really great moment. And I don't know how deep that rabbit hole goes, but I know that there's always more love to feel when we do that.
Well, there's an awful lot of attention paid to self-mastery, but it's self-mastery within a very particular domain. It's self-mastery to make sure you don't hit snooze. It's self-mastery to not eat the sugar. It's self-mastery to go to the gym, to lift the weight, to complete the to-do list, to do the things, right? And this is a world that I inhabit very, very heavily. And it's opening up the doorway to the potential that it might be something more than that.
Yeah.
It might be more than just doing the thing.
I'm
right?
glad you're saying that, because I believe that also. I really think there's way more than that. There's way more than that, because there's so much that we haven't experienced yet that has nothing to do with the material world. Have a full-on mystical experience, and to the point where you can't go back to being the same person any longer because you're changed as a result of it, that your perception of reality changes from that inward experience. I think there's a lot of unknown experiences that await us that have nothing to do with the world we know.
And that's a good point too. So, like I was just saying, apart from like making yourself better for other people, and then when you become successful in whatever way, you're going to feel satisfied because you did it for love, you did it for the community, and you're lifting other people's vibration up, and you feel that. But what these guys are talking about now is self-discipline, self-control, and changing for you. So part of the journey of looking after your tribe, your community, is making yourself more able to look after them. So if you have like internal goals and you achieve them along the way with the motivation and main goal to help others with your newfound you, then you're complete. Because people might be doing whatever they're doing, self-improving and helping others, but if they're lacking a part that they really wanted to do, say like their goal might be, I want to go to the gym, and then I want to get fit, and then I want to read more books and upgrade my knowledge and skills, and I want to not be addicted to sugar. So imagine they do 3 out of those 4 things, and they still succeed in life, and they still have the people around them that love them, and they love those people. They did everything they could for the community. But because of that one last thing, the one that they really wanted to do, or that was on their list, go to the gym, get healthy, upgrade their skills, and cut sugar out, as an example. If they haven't cut sugar out, then of course they're still going to feel, oh, there's just that one little thing that I have to master. But these guys say, no, once you mastered everything that you want to and reach your personal goals, then you'll be your new you, and you will feel whole and complete. And as a result, you'll be able to serve others better. Like, take, for example, I've been talking to one of my mates, and like girl, and one of our other mates, they've been talking about their boyfriends, relationships, whatever. And one girl asked the question, like, my boyfriend wants me to get married, settle down, have children, but I feel like I'm not ready and I want to like do more self-development first. Or am I just being selfish? Should I just go and get married and do what I biologically can do? Have children, look after the husband, make a good home life. And then I just thought to myself, can't you do both? But the boyfriend really wants her to just like not do anything, and he's got all good goals, like team goals for their future family. But the girl feels like, I'm not reaching my full capacity. I'm not feeling that. So she feels that she doesn't want to be part of that relationship because his goal and her goal, his ideal wife and her ideal wife, look like two different things. She wants to be 100% for him by self-developing herself more. She's still at uni. She's got like one more year left of uni so that she can be better for the relationship and better for them in the long run. Whereas him, he just wants to, let's just get married and do this now. And then they asked me, or one of the girls asked me what I thought. And I thought they're both good goals. Like your boyfriend is obviously a good bloke. He wants the best for your family. That's his ideal uh, view and concept of a good marriage. Whereas you have good ideals as well. You want to make yourself strong and independent and self-reliant for the relationship, but in the beginning for you. So I thought if she's just gonna like go into his model of the marriage and she's feeling like she hasn't reached her full capacity, then really say that she was my wife, I would know that she's operating at her 30% or 50% or less. And realistically for me, what good is she for the team if she's not 100%? Doesn't mean that she has to be perfect, but she has to be her ideal best for her, which will contribute to our ideal best for us. As a result, what she did is she ended up breaking up with the poor guy. I've never met him. I just saw him once, like on video chat and stuff like that. Looked like a really nice guy, but just two different visions. And as a result, she just felt like she's being selfish by like developing herself, on the quiet, gone into monk mode in a relationship for the purpose of their future relationship. But then she just called it. She goes, nah, this is going to take me a while. I'm not going to reach the ultimate I can be with this bloke, even though he loves me so much and I love him as well. So she just pulled the plug and then just followed her heart. So we shall see what will occur. And then like another thing that was on her mind was the fear of not being able to find another guy like that, because he's a really nice guy apart from him just wanting her to chill and just be a stay-at-home mum. But then our other mate, the other girl, said to her, do you know there's like nearly 7 billion people on this planet? You're never ever going to find that exact one because there's only one of him. But imagine if you find a combination that brings the best out of you and him.
Do you think that everybody has the same propensity, openness to these sorts of experiences? There are some people that I'm around and that I'm friends with, and I think in order to get you to the stage where you would be keen to open the door to the mystical experience, we're going to have to drag you kicking and screaming through a mile of glass.
Yeah, I think when people are ready, they're ready, and people meet information on their own level, and I think that's great. I think everybody's on the journey back to source, and you gotta forget that you're source to have the experience of something other than it, and I think it's a process of awakening. And so, God, I think there's so much more to experience in life besides that, and having those moments of those transcendental moments where you realize that there is something greater. It's hard to go back to playing the game the same way.
Perfect. That's a perfect place to leave it. Talking about transcendental moments, basically transcending yourself or elevating, leveling up from one plateau to the next. And it's limitless. You know, you can be the best unimaginable person that you ever can dream of. And maybe even the person that you can actually become, you haven't dreamed of yet. Family, I love you all. Life is the be all and never end. The purpose of life is to create. Nature tells us. Look at the animals, look at the plants, look at the birds, look at the bees. All the species, except for the human race, understand what the purpose of life is, to create more life. I'll leave it there, people, and shall chat to you soon in the next video tomorrow. Love you all. Peace.